Back when I was 16, and that's a long time ago, I used to play golf and cricket every week, and I hurt my back being a fast bowler, and it got worse and worse and worse till I was about 35. I'd be on the golf course and I'd hit the ball and my knees would just buckle from the pain from the bulging disc in my back. And we moved from Gosford up to here, and I gave up playing golf and started just playing a little bit of cricket, a little bit of old man's cricket, and found out the reason for the pain was this bulging disc, because the disc finally exploded, and a bit of it broke off and went down the nerve root and my leg went numb and I had to have an operation. But after my operation I couldn't really be sporty at all. I could walk, I couldn't run, couldn't really do a lot of activity at all. And if I wanted to do something like work in the garden, I'd have to get down on my knees and use hand tools. I couldn't do anything real strenuous. Anyway, so one day I was working in the front yard doing the little bit of work I could do. And I walked into my garage and there was my golf clubs. And I was thinking to myself, there's a young fella at church, the pastor's son, who's taken up golf, and he was using his dad's clubs and they were ancient. And I thought, I'll give him mine. I'm never going to use them again because I can barely move. And I got him out, and I looked at my driver was this really smick, quite exotic driver. And I thought, I'll just give it one last swing before I give it away. And so I walked out my front yard and I tried to swing it and I could barely move. And I thought, I'll give it a bit more of a go. So I tried to swing it a bit harder, and of course, my back twinged, my knees buckled and I fell down. And I put it back away and said, that's it, never again. And so I'm lying in bed that night and my back's really giving me grief. And I've rolled over and it's hurt that much, so I've groaned. And my wife says to me, what's wrong with you? And I said, I overdone it today, honey, in the garden. I wasn't going to tell her I was swinging a golf club. But anyway, my wife, she's a prayer. She's a real prayer warrior. And anyway, she put her hands on my back because I was facing away from her. And I could tell she was praying for me because her hands were warm and normally they're like cold frog. And I just went to sleep. Didn't think too much about it. And for the next 2 weeks, I didn't think too much about it until I walked into the garage and I looked at my golf clubs and I went, my back hasn't hurt for a while. And I walked over and I picked up my exotic driver and I went out to the front yard and I swung it and it didn't hurt. And so there was another fellow at church who played a bit of golf, an old fellow, and so I went and said, how about we have a game of golf? And I went out and played golf, and I played just as well as I ever did, no pain whatsoever. And so I went, okay, I'll go and join the golf club. It's 10 years ago, and I haven't had a pain in my back since, and I'm playing off a handicap of 9. And here's the really good bit, every week there's 3 fellas that I got captive for 4.5 hours that I can tell this story to. Some of them turn their way and walk away, and some are quite amazed. And I really don't know if I've had an effect on any of them. But it doesn't matter because God knows. I've planted the seed in 3 blokes every week for 10 years. Telling them my story about how I couldn't play golf. And they love golf stories because they're golfers. And the Lord has just given me this gift of being able to talk about Him without talking about Him.
I love it. What happened to the pastor's son? He didn't get the golf clubs.
No, but I helped his dad buy him some for Christmas.
Oh, that's good.